told us about the 25 individuals, parents who were investigated by the FBI. So it didn't surprise us. We actually expected it. We were surprised it took them that long to put out this letter about these guys. But you'll get to hear from these individuals today. These brave Americans who are willing to come forward. Understand what the Durham report said. The FBI failed in its fundamental mission of fidelity to the law. They didn't follow the law. These three guys who are going to come testify today, their conscience, their duty to the Constitution compelled them to come forward in fidelity to the law. And you'll get to hear from them here in less than an hour.
So that's Jim Jordan taking questions there on Capitol Hill. We're getting ready for a very important hearing on Capitol Hill, just about 9 a.m. Eastern time. What's fascinating listening to these questions is the complicit, compliant, left-leaning media asking questions that really don't relate to what we're about to learn more about today. Multiple whistleblowers, 3 FBI agents are going to testify this morning about corruption within the FBI, this coming on the heels of the Durham report that was released Monday afternoon. John Glasgow in the newsroom with more. John, good morning.
And good morning to you, Rob. This hearing is going to happen in about 30 minutes. 3 suspended special agents of the FBI taking the hot seat. We're expected to learn more about how the agency retaliated against them and used its authority to fit the Biden administration's political narrative. The hearing, organized by committee chairman Jim Jordan, it will dig into accusations that the FBI harassed conservatives and inflated domestic terrorism stats to fit the Democrats' agenda. 3 whistleblowers testifying are FBI Special Agent Garrett O'Boyle, and also former FBI Special Agent Steve Friend and FBI Staff Operations Specialist Marcus Allen. 2 of the 3 did closed-door interviews in February with the Select Committee. The former agents expressed concerns with the FBI's instructions on pursuing domestic violent extremism probes, at the same time disregarding standard investigative procedures in January 6th cases. The FBI revoked the security clearances of the 3 agents late yesterday because they either took part in the Capitol breach or later voiced views on it, raising questions about their allegiance to the United States. So FBI Director Christopher Wray, he's pushed back on these accusations that the agency is politicized, saying the agency has been unfairly criticized. The Judiciary Committee, as you just saw there, is holding a news conference this morning. Here's what Jim Jordan had to say.
If you're one of the thousands of good employees, brave whistleblowers who's willing to come forward, if you're one of these folks willing to come forward and talk about what's going on out there, you get attacked. They will try to crush you.
So this report follows the release of the Durham report this week, where federal investigators found that the FBI investigated Trump's 2016 presidential campaign and possible ties to Russia. But the report showed that the agency went off biased claims from Trump critics with little regard for the rules of evidence. Rob, it will be interesting to see what new evidence these whistleblowers can provide.
Yeah,
today.
Absolutely. Good point. John Glasgow in the newsroom. Thank you for that. The FBI can't do anything to hide this. Elections have consequences. The Republicans won. They took the House, and now we're going to have hearings that we wouldn't have had if Democrats were still in control. For more, let's welcome in Kentucky Congressman, Chairman of the House Oversight Committee, James Comer, with us this morning. Mr. Chairman, great to see you. What a day. What a morning. It basically sounds like these FBI agents that are about to testify, they were independent thinkers at the FBI, and the higher-ups didn't like that. What are you expecting to hear when this thing gets going in about 25 minutes?
Well, I want to hear exactly what their instructions were from the higher ups. You know, we don't have a problem with the rank and file FBI members. We have a problem with the leadership at the top. And time again, we're getting reports and we're receiving evidence that shows where there's a 2-tier system of justice, and they are actively trying to go after conservative causes, censor conservative speech. And then when it comes to Democrat corruption, like the Biden family influence peddling, they not only turn a blind eye, they try to obstruct congressional investigation. So I'm anxious to hear exactly how this takes place, just like I'm anxious to hear with the IRS whistleblower exactly who and who from the DOJ and exactly what they said to stand down on this IRS tax evasion investigation of the Biden family.
Congressman, we had the former assistant director of the FBI on earlier this morning, and he was stunned with the corruption at the FBI, and he was there 22 years. Does this go beyond anything you ever imagined before you became chairman?
No, it's unbelievable. You know, when you look at the history of congressional investigations and the investigations that actually uncovered wrongdoing and where there were consequences for that wrongdoing, things, you know, you go back to Watergate or whatever, it wasn't just members of Congress digging around and having committee hearings. You had the FBI, you had the Department of Justice working with congressional investigators. You had a media that actually had investigative reporting that was, at the time, not non-biased. Now, what we have in America today are Republicans in the House of Representatives on basically two committees, the House Oversight Committee and the House Judiciary Committee, that are leading investigations. We're having to fight the FBI. We're having to fight the DOJ. We're having to fight the media. And the good people that are coming forward, the whistleblowers, whether they be the ones that come forward today in the judiciary hearing or the ones that we're working with in oversight, they're being retaliated against by our own government. And Democrats used to be real passionate about defending whistleblowers. Now they're trying to diminish the whistleblowers. They're trying to punish the whistleblowers, and it's just not right.
Yeah, Congressman, if I could keep you for just a moment. You've been criticized. Basically, the left says, hey, well, he's been looking at this for a while, and the chairman doesn't have the goods on the big guy, maybe not even on Hunter Biden. The Durham report drops Monday, and I thought to myself, no, this is what the media does. They're compliant, they're complicit, and they go after anyone who's not part of their group think. What do you make of that?
Well, look, I felt better after the Durham report came out and the way the media said, oh, this is a nothing burger. That's what they said about our memo that we dropped at our press conference 2 weeks ago. Look, our memo showed bank records. And what they said, well, Comer has nothing. We have bank records that show wires coming from foreign nationals to phony companies set up by the Bidens while Joe Biden was vice president, and then payments dispersed randomly from these phony LLCs down to 9 different Biden family members. I think that's pretty damning evidence, but the media blew it off. Then the Durham report comes out and says there was never anything there. There was never an ounce of evidence about Trump colluding with Russia.
Yeah.
And the media says, oh, look, this is a nothing burger.
It's stunning.
The media is the problem in America right now.
Not the media you're on right now. Everybody's going in one direction. That's why Newsmax is successful. We're going in the other direction.
Breitbart, we've got some Wall Street Journal. They're good. Yeah. But you know which ones I'm talking about.
It blows my mind. The media, they're not even subtle anymore. Congressman, we're looking forward to this hearing in just about 20 minutes. Come back and see us soon. James Comer, Kentucky, thank you.